Should give glory to himself, all the glory must be to the Lord. I'll sing to the Lord. To the Lord, all the glory must be to the Lord. For he is worthy of our praise. No man on earth should give glory to himself. All the glory must be. Let's bow our heads up there. Father, in the name of Jesus. Father, I want to say thank you for this day. Thank you for the privilege to gather again. Thank you for what you also be able to gather to learn. Be exalted in the name of Jesus. And so, Father, we complete this program as we start. We ask that you start with us in the name of Jesus. We ask that everything that we're going to learn today will be for our gain in the name of Jesus. That everything that we learn today will not be a waste, but will be an impact to every life in the name of Jesus. Thank you, Father. In Jesus' mighty name, we have prayed. I will have my hands to the end of the Lord and have our seats. Once again, please thank you for the opening prayer. Please, we need to take our anthems. in regards or please let's have some please while we take our hands, please. Thank you. Good morning, students. Please answer me now. Good morning. Are we fighting? Yeah. Please, I'm telling you. Okay, please. I just want you to relax. No tension at all. Relax your mood. The essence of this program is to take your mind away from class. I've told you, no class will be hold by now. When lecturer is holding class or organizing tests, you are given at different what. So, this is a program we are going for. We started our entrepreneurship week last yesterday. Unfortunately, many of us miss the privilege or an opportunity which I expected you to not to miss at all. But today, we are having visitors in our midst that think they will introduce themselves when they come to the podium. But I want you to know that this program is to educate you, is to also to sharpen your skill as well. I think there is nobody said who have heard about it. Just man before. So, okay, someone is raising a hand. Okay, I thought you are raising a hand. So, it's an opportunity for us to learn, to know the latest skills that are outside there. What those employers are looking for. How can you be competitive and relevant, outside there? So I don't want, I also observe that many of you who are coming in want to come in after some time to take your leave. Please, this is not too good for us. That discourse our message to be able to stay to the end of the program so that we can have a full house. Because everything we are doing here is being recorded and there are reports that is going to be written. So I don't want us to miss this opportunity. We conduct ourselves well, and the size not the number is increased more than what we expected. We are going to see how a lot of opportunity that we see start from there in time past. Please, I want you to compose ourselves. What I want you from you is to have your writing materials. You can record what I'm saying, and then you can jot it down, and then in time for questions, the program has been scheduled as accordingly. So the way it comes, and I believe that if there are somebody who came down from Lagos, the students sitting down here just because of this program. Yes, he knows the lesson of what goes today. But I'm also expecting you not to miss the opportunity. At the end of the day, I believe we are going to go home or go back with something handy. And relax, I can see that we have a lot of pressure for that. So relax, everybody is going to be covered. So we got your cover. So relax. I want to welcome you back again. God bless you. Please, can you come to the
Thank you, everyone. My name is Botario, and from Jonathan, and I'll be your facilitator for today's program. So first, I'd like to ask you, how are you all doing this morning? I get an answer. Okay, I think I'll come to individuals. How are you doing this? That's it. Okay. So far, I'm really excited.
You are doing fine. No, you are curiosity. I hope the impression is. I hope the
Alright. It's good to know that you're doing fine. I'm glad that you're doing fine this morning. And yes, there will be today I will be so before I go ahead, I want to concentrate for all coming out of the training and rest this training will impact your life. Before I go on, I'm sure in one way or the other you must have heard about Journal. And if you haven't, I'll just tell you briefly about Journal. Journal is an online platform. It's a career advancement platform. What they usually do is connect job seekers and employers together. So they are serve as the link between job seekers and employers. And the training we're having this morning is one that's going to prepare you for skills. I believe that after a number of years, you're going to be there and you'll be out there in the job market. And even if you're running a business, this training will also help you. Choose not to work for anyone and set up your own. This training is going to help you to do better in your business and in life generally. Can I have the next slide? Next slide, please. So the course we're having this morning is the soft skills course. Can anyone tell me, have you heard about what soft skills are? At any point in time, can anyone tell me what you think soft skills are? Please feel free. I want this to be as interactive as possible. We are all learners here. All right. I don't mind getting an additional mic so that I don't have to.
Alright, soft skills are. I am Olabishola Mululebanisha. Soft skills are more like the skills that can't really be, are not tangible skills. These are skills like emotional intelligence and so.
Thank you very much for that answer. Is there any other person that was a different perspective to what soft skills are? Any other person?
So you can say soft skills are personal skills like time management, communication skills, teamwork.
All right. Thank you so much. The two people that have done justice to that. Soft skills are, in a way, I would use this to explain. Now, all of you are here in school to study one course or the other. It might be engineering, administration, medicine. I don't know if you offer medicine here. What you have come to school to learn are technical skills. Those are the things you put on your CV and say, oh, I qualify this particular field. So this is what I can do. However, soft skills are skills and hard skills, what you know, what you come to learn. However, soft skills are skills that help you to stay in jobs. So technical skills will get you to the job or whatever job that you seek at any point in time. But soft skills are things that will keep you in the job. So you might know everything about engineering, but if you cannot work in a team effectively, you will have issues. You will be a bad engineer. If you cannot communicate clearly, let's say you're an engineer or working with an architect. If you cannot communicate what you did clearly to the architect, you end up having issues at the end of whatever project you're working on. So it's important for you, in as much as you have hard skills, which are the technical skills that you come to learn, it's also important for you to have soft skills. That way you're able to relate with you're able to relate to people in the workplace, in your environment, okay, and to achieve great results. Next slide, please. So at the end of this training, before we start this training, you're going to have a test. Fair enough, it's not too much of a big deal. The test is to test your current knowledge of soft skills. So in a few minutes, a paper will be passed around. Please ensure that you fill your information correctly and will require you to also sign your consent to be reached after. Now, signing your consent gives you the opportunity to the job platform, the alumni, where you get opportunities even after you leave school. So you fill your name, your email, your phone number, every information that we need on that form. Can you fill them clearly and correctly? So you have going to have a pre-test before in the course of the training. And when we are done with the training, there will be a post test. The post test is to test what you were able to gain from the training and also qualify you for the certificate. We are going to have both tests, both the pre-test and post-test rather, so that you can be sure that you gain something during this training. All right, next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide. Okay. To that previous slide, the assessments. Like I said, there are tests to be done. Each of them has 15 questions, and they are pretty simple questions. They're not. At the end of the training, you're going to get a certificate, like I said earlier, and the certificate is endorsed by Java and Mastercard Foundation. So, you know you're getting something that's of value. Next slide, please. Next slide. Please, I'll need the technical guys to help me with this so that this training can be done efficiently and next slide. This slide top 10 soft skills. Next slide. Next slide, please. Okay, while we get the hang of that, I'll just continue from here. There are 10 major soft skills that you are required to have, which will help you in your job or workplace, even in school. And a couple of those are critical thinking and analysis. Time management. Time management is really key. Leadership and social influence. Reasoning, problem solving. You are as valuable as your ability to solve problems. It's said that people who are able to solve problems are usually hard to replace. To the extent of your value, how hard it is for them to find a replacement for you. So problem solving is very key. Attention to details, active learning, emotional intelligence, communication. These are some of the soft skills that are quite important for you to learn. So the first one we'll be learning today, please go to the next slide, the personal effectiveness and time management slides. Technical team, help me on this one. Personal effectiveness. Next. Yes, thank you. So personal effectiveness is simply being able to make the best use of your time with the resources that you have at hand. So irrespective of irrespective of shortcomings that you face at some point, it's being able to adapt to situations as they call for it. So you're able to manage your time. So let's say, for example, you're given an assignment, and in that assignment, I know a lot of you use ChatGPT. Is there anyone here that has never used ChatGPT? Is there anyone here, be honest, that has never used ChatGPT? Oh, there are a few people here. I commend you, and in 1%, you are a very rare species because these days a lot of people depend on ChatGPT. But then that's a resource. It is not meant to replace your thinking. Now, there are particular people that use ChatGPT for everything, even as much as replying WhatsApp messages to their crush. Am I lying? Because by the time you're replying the message, you say, oh, I suggest that you type this, and then you copy and paste. That's not being effective anyway. So you being able to use resources at your disposal to the best of your ability, that's really what personal effectiveness is. And within a dedicated time frame, next slide. I have the slide there. I need to work with my phone because of this lab, so we can move fast. So what are the components of personal effectiveness? The first major one is taking ownership. And when it means when you are said to take ownership, it means that you don't relate. You own up. Not just when things are good, but even when things don't go your way. So I can imagine, do we have anyone who is a class rep here? A course rep, a class rep? Is there anyone here? Please, a course rep. Sign up. Thank you. So I'd like to ask you, at any point in time, have you had challenges with your classmates dealing, say, a particular project, and you had to bear the brunt of it? Let's say a lecturer gave you maybe a group work or something, and there's somebody somewhere who is a key member of the group, but the person delayed your submission of that course, and you had to face the lecturer on behalf of everybody because of one person. Have you ever had any? Please use the mic. You've never. So it means that your classmates are very effective people. That's fantastic. Please give our classmates a round of applause. Give me a round of applause now. So if you are a person, if you are a very effective person, the first thing is that you take ownership. When things go your way or when things don't go your way, you still take ownership of it. It is easy in Nigeria today to say, oh, the reason my life turned out this way is because who is in government. We know there are many people that push blames to the government. Whether or not it's true, whenever government comes, they still push blames to that government because they are yet to take ownership of their life. But when things go right, they say, I did that. It's like saying, when you write jam and you pass, or you write, when you go to my but the courses that you got A1, you be like, oh, I scored A1 in biology, I scored A1 in this. But the ones where you got a D7, you say, they gave me D7. Am I relating? Have you had that experience? That is you not taking ownership for the D7. So that's one of the major components of personal effectiveness. The second one is execution. That's the ability to deliver your work with speed, purpose, and accuracy. So there's something about saying if you run so fast, but you are running in the wrong direction, you are not making progress. So a component of personality, please stay on that slide. A component of personal effectiveness is your ability to be able to deliver your work with speed, accuracy, and purpose. And it's important for you to pay attention to details. Then the third one is discipline, doing what you say you will do when you will do it, even when no one is looking. So you are here in school, you have assignments that are stuff to do, but you are choosing to focus on why you're here rather than that we'll still talk about that later during the bonus activities. So it's important for you to stay disciplined. That's when you can be said to be an effective person. The learning activity, being curious, open-minded, just like you are here today, is learn about soft skills, especially for those of you who have never heard about them. Next slide, please. There's also self-awareness, and this is the ability to take a honest look at your life without any attachments. And there's something that I do at the end of each day. I sit down and analyze what happened during the day. Typically, my day starts with a to-do list. One of my to-do lists for today is to prepare to train you guys. If I'm able to tick that off, I have done well for that day. If I fail to show up, it means I'm not an effective person. So I sit down and take a honest look. Okay, what did you do right today? What did you do wrong? What can you improve on? And I take feedback also from people that interacted with because of it. Being self-aware is being honest to yourselves. Yoruba says something that your major is like that. I'll translate that. It means that two people cannot be at a loss, but like that's the initial translation. It simply means that if I'm telling my sister here a lie, if she doesn't know I'm lying to her, I know that it's a lie. You are doing yourself a disservice if you are being dishonest to yourself. You can be dishonest to any other person, which is not a good thing, anyway, but being dishonest with yourself creates disservice that you can do to yourself. So a self-aware person has to be able to take a honest look at their life. And there are different types of self-awareness. Next slide. You have the internal self-awareness and the external self-awareness. Internal, that means you're aware of what's going on inside of you. I know some people categorize themselves. There are different terms flying around these days. Oh, I'm an introvert. I'm an extrovert. That's fine. Some people go further to say, oh, I have ADHD. Is anyone familiar with that? They've not been clinically diagnosed, but because of what is happening in the world, they are taking time themselves. Oh, I have OCD. OCD is a mental disorder. Because you are needs does not have. So if you are planning to have some things, when you're not internally self-awareness, you're starting to come into peer pressure. And there's this one going on now, back challenge, Nabucco. I don't know heard of that. It's driving everybody crazy. They're spending so much money to each his own. But there's a trait of not self-aware going on that branch. So you're making the owner rich. Alright. So next slide please. There's something that we call the Johari window. And in this Johari window, there are 4 different areas. You have the open area, that's things that are known to you and things that are known to others. For example, if you see me now, I'm not a very tall person, but I'm not short either. It's obvious. I can't really see this when I'm not. You can see that. That's just an example where it's open to you and it's open to others. Then there's what is not known to you, but is known to others. In driving, they call that blind spot. It means that you are not seeing it, but others can see it. And that's the place of being able to take feedback. Because in a way, you may act in a kind of way when people say, oh, this person seems like a proud person. And you don't know it. I was speaking to a lady earlier to move forward, and she rolled her eyes at me. I didn't take it personal anyway. Because it may have been a default mode for her to roll her eyes. I want to say it, so I know that. To roll her eyes naturally. And that point she may not know. It's a blind for her, but I could see it. So that's the point that is not known to you yourself, but it's not to others. Then there's the part that is known to you, but not known to others. That's the hidden area or the facade. I'm sure you are all familiar with this, and it is common because of the social media age. People come online and give their impression of who they want you to think they are. But that's actually who they are. Are we familiar with that? Are we familiar with that? Since I need responses. So that's a facade. Most influencers, they rent cars, they rent bouquets, they rent. I saw it was recently. It said, oh, rent flowers, balloons to surprise yourself. 1% million will give you 500,000 after. That's a fake life. In short, this is what they call fake life. And there's a part that's not known to you and it's not known to yourself, which is unknown. And with this, you need help to uncover that. Next slide, please. Next slide. So this part of personal effectiveness is about self-confidence, and it is the belief that success is possible. The unwavering, I would say unwavering belief that success is possible. It means that irrespective of what anyone tells you, you know that you are sure without any doubt that you can be successful. That's a decision you make really. Nobody will tell you about it. You have to decide within yourself. And it's not something that you are born with. You have to make that conscious decision to say that success is possible. Next slide. So there are 3 different types of self-confidence. There's the low self-confidence, there is the self-confidence, and there is overconfidence. For low self-confidence, it's usually based on what others think for you. That means you're not so sure of yourself, and For people with low self-confidence, it's easy to toss them around. If people say, "Oh, you're not so smart," you start believing it because you don't have good self-confidence. And I say something that when you call you names in quotes, the only reason you should get offended is if they are right. So if somebody says, for example, that somebody is stupid, why are you offended? Are you stupid? I'm asking a question. Should you be offended if you're not a stupid person? It may hurt. You be like, oh, that's your opinion of me. Doesn't count. That's confident person to say. But someone with low self-confidence to sit back and say, oh, really? Am I stupid? Maybe they're right. And that goes on to affect you being successful. And there's the self-confidence part that you are confident in yourself, you know yourself. That comes from a place of being self-aware. You know yourself so well that irrespective of other people's negative opinion about you or opinions that are not true, you know what to stand for. And there's the overconfidence. Now, this varies, it's also a bad side of being self-confident. That means that you feel that you're better than everyone else. And that's not something that anyone should have. So how do you overcome self-confidence? You have to believe in yourself. You have to accept yourself as you are. You have to say what you want to reflect in your life to yourself. To overcome overconfidence, you have to be able to embrace feedback, practice self-awareness, embrace continuous learning because the truth is you don't know it all. You only know as much as the environment where you are. It's just like throwing an A student from here into an Ivy school. Say you go to Harvard or something. When you meet other A-list students, you'll be like, oh, really? Maybe I'm not that A-list. Because there are still some people that are superior to it. Quite important that you embrace it. Next slide. Time management. Next slide. So time management is the ability for you to be able to plan and exercise control over your time. And this is important for you to be an effective person. Now, there are three major keywords here. That is process, conscious control. I think where most of us miss it is at this point of conscious control. I'll give you an example. Say you have an assignment and you want to do something on Google. What to say, so what is that? 1 hour, 2 hours, you'll be scrolling. At that point, you've lost consciousness of it. And anybody relates to what I said. It happens a lot. But if you're a good time manager, you would allocate the time of your day to internet activities. And then you have smartphones that you can use to set limits. So on Instagram, you can set what and 30 minutes. Once you see the alert, you spend 30 minutes on the app, you drop it. That shows that you're a disciplined person. So it's important for you to have conscious control of it. Next slide. So the obstacles to effective time management, unclear objectives. I said earlier that my day starts with it. So when I look through my to-do list, any activity that is not important, that tries to find its way into that to-do list, I pick it up. Because if I embrace those activities, I will not be able to feel what I want to do for that day. So it's important that you have clear objectives. Overloaded schedule. A lot of people cannot say no in this generation. You feel you offend people by not saying no. By the end of the day, you are doing more harm to yourself than good. Disorganization, inability to say that. Failure to prioritize, idle time and interruption, stress and fatigue, motivation. I think these are something. Next slide. So time management audit is important. I mentioned audits earlier that at the end of my day I audit how I spent my time, what I did for each day. So it's important for you to be honest with yourself. Deep down, if you are not a good time manager, you know So you ask yourself, what do I think of my time management skills? Do I manage my time well? What do people closest to me say about my time management skills? Am I aware and conscious of how I spend my time? That's your first step to mastering time management. Next slide, please. Now, this quadrant is something that can really help you to be able to take control of your time. The first part of the quadrant is about urgent and important activities. Urgent and important activities. Simply, these are activities that you should not avoid doing. It's advisable that you do not avoid doing them. And that is, you have examples like deadline activities. If you have assignments, you have exams, it's important for you to meet deadlines. Because if you don't do them, they go on to affect medical or other emergencies. For medical, let's say wake up with an itch in your throat. I'm sure this has happened to someone at one point or the other. Wake up with an itch in your throat, it's just an itch to go away. And for the end of the day, your ears are bleeding, your eyes are red, you know you're coming up with the fever. You still dismiss it. That's a medical emergency that you should have attacked your beginning. By the time it becomes a full-blown flu, you are unable to take care of yourself when you would have if you started when it started as an age. It's important that you take your mental health very seriously. And pressing issues and things that are last, you know what's the best issue to you, so you do it accordingly. Now, for the second box, that's the not urgent but equally important. For those ones, you can schedule them. Takes me back to the to-do list. You can plan or delay them. Common activities are exercise, prospecting, relationship building, content creation. I categorize this as things that you do so that you don't have to do extra stress later. For exercise, these are things that need kind of. So if you say, oh, I want to lose 30 kg, I'm sure maybe somebody had that you know, that I want to lose weight, I want to walk out stuff. But they want you to say they now it's summer and you just want to have this summer for lose. It's not going to work out because it's something that you should have shared from the beginning. So it's not that you identify this things. Content creation rather. Do we have any content creators? Okay. Is anyone here a content creator? Can I see your hand? Content. Let's say you want to post something today. Is it the ability to plan that content and shoot the video and edit it and post it? Please, I need answers. So how do you do it? You batch create, right? You a day, shoot all your content at once. Pick another day, schedule to edit your content. Then you're posting and you schedule. So that's the not urgent and important. Then the urgent but not important. For these ones, you can get for push them back. An example is WhatsApp group messages. This category, emails that are not important. Meeting other people's priorities. Because let me tell you, if people see that you are not doing anything, they will come and check. And have to be mindful of that. They feel like, oh, you're free now. You can help do this. Meanwhile, because you told not to show that you don't have something to do, they will come and help you. So it's important that for this quality, rather, items that are urgent but not important, you push them back or you get this. For me, automatically, you have to WhatsApp group, I'm archiving it. Except I have to be active on that group. You are passing important information on the deep places. But if that's not the case, archiving, I'll read it when I have time. Then the last one is not urgent and not important. Sometimes not necessary to take when next slide. How do you manage your time? Write out your daily plan. That's important. Do this. Learn to say no. We spoke about that. Take obstacles that exist. So the person trend, there's no constant light. So if it's that you're going to let's say iron on your clothes, the time power will be high, but it's important for you to identify those obstacles that exist. So you're not caught stranded when you want to be important. Then always reward your success. You're able to hit all your back to back. Let's say in a week yourself, I think of every point this for the week. Let's take myself out. Please buy ice cream. It gives you the motivation to keep going. Next slide is stress management. In order for us to be effective people, it's important that we learn how to manage it. And next slide, common reasons for stress. This I'm sure you can relate to this slide. If I may ask, can anyone can anyone tell me what is the number one stress? Stressors are just things that bring stress. Can anyone volunteer to tell me what's the number one stressor? Anyone? Anyone? You said what? 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 What's the number one thing that you get and causes you stress? Waste time. Ten. Okay. You said really these are stress, but
Yes.
don't worry. It's in place, but you just started. You just started. Stresses you. Wow, very chill boy. That's living the life. I mean, not stress. What's the number one thing that stresses you? So I think all your stresses are linked to school. Somebody said reading. Somebody said school. Okay. Welcome to this phase of your life because there will definitely be more. It's actually the academic requirements. Those are the things that are required of you. So it's important, however, for you to learn how to manage this stress. So for the person that said the exam, I'm probably thinking that you bring for the it confirms that. So how do you do that? Remember what I talked about? By the time of the one, by the time the exam time, you can be free. You don't have to write. You just do some revision and stuff. So it's important for you to identify what is in stress. Except for because you are also going to work. You see that. You have financial instability, social media. Social media is like number one stress. Okay. So I'm saying that once you are able to identify what causes you stress, it's important that you also identify how you can tackle it. I said social media is one of my number one stressors, and that's because my job requires me to be on social media very often. I run a business and I have to communicate with clients, communicate with suppliers, and do all that. So what do I inform them ahead. This weekend I am offline, nobody can reach me. And typically during such weekends, I find out that when I come back, I'm usually more refreshed. I'm able to achieve more things. I can pick up a book. There was one weekend I did that, and I read 5 books in one weekend, which was hard for it to happen at some other points because there's always something on social media. You want to make these with suppliers and all that. Once you identify what is a stressor, for the person that said examination, plan your time, start from the very beginning. Once you resume school, that's the day you should start reading. And then following up that way, you find out that at the end of the day, you'll be able to overcome stress. The person that says school, I don't know advice to give you really. You have to deal with it at this point. But you just have to find a way to make it fun while you are here. And I don't mean fun that would derail you from the purpose that the reason you are in school, but find a way to enjoy it and make sure you're not overwhelmed. Then another thing that helps in stress, because you have the slides, I don't want you to keep you waiting. That helps is exercise. How many people exercise here? At least 4 times a week. You exercise. I don't necessarily mean going to the gym. You take walks, you run, you skip, you swim. How many people you do? What kind of exercise do you do? Push-ups and walking around. Okay, that's nice. You said he does push-ups and he walks around. Is there any other person? So nobody exercises here. Interesting. I would recommend exercise for you. Try it for the next 2 weeks. Wake up early if you have to. There are a lot of workout videos on YouTube, simple workout videos that will not stress you. Sweat it out. 30 minutes per day. Every morning, preferably in the morning. You'll find out that you're entering your day with better clarity. You are less stressed. It's something I have tried, which works for me. On days that I don't exercise, I'm usually cranky. Like everything will just be getting to you. But there's this fresh release of dopamine that you get from exercising that helps you to, it's a stress relief factor. Dopamine is a stress relief hormone. So it pumps you with energy for your day. So I would highly recommend that you exercise as often as possible. Another way to reduce stress is to have your to-do lists. I cannot say it enough, to be honest. Preferably do your to-do list the night before. Whatever you want to achieve the next day, put it on your to-do list the night before, and as you're doing it, you're ticking it off. There's a joy that comes from you knowing that you've ticked up things to do from your list. Eat well. I know this sometimes can be hard for students because you'll be like, oh, I have 8 a.m. lectures, I don't have time to cook. But everything can happen with planning, really. Breakfast is said to be the most important meal of your day. If you don't skip breakfast, you'll be a much healthier person. If you are trying to lose weight, don't skip breakfast. If you are trying to gain weight, don't skip breakfast. There's a way it works, generally, so you can read more about that. Another thing is to spend time in nature. Exactly. Go outside and touch grass. Don't lock up yourself in your hostels all the time. Go around nature where there are trees, where you can hear the sounds of birds. Urbanization has spoiled a lot of things for us, but really those things help to calm your nerves and relax your body. Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me, please? You are not answering. They can hear. They are pretending because I accused them the other time. All right. So have you all taken your baseline test, please? By now you should be done with your pre-test. The sheet that you have with you. By now you should be done with it. Have you all? Is there anyone that has not taken theirs yet? Is there anyone that has not taken theirs yet? You can use this time to take it, please. It's very important. Without it, there's no certificate. You're going to get certificate after this training, like I mentioned earlier. So it's important. Don't worry, there are no wrong answers. We are just using that to test your current knowledge of the subject matter, which is soft skills. Have you all taken the test? Have you all filled in your details, please? Yes, ma'am. All right, thank you. Set. Now look, I'm looking at because if they can even hear it, but I'm not sure all of them can hear. What are they saying now? Okay. So far, can anyone volunteer to tell me what they've learned? What new thing have you learned since we started this training? Anyone, please. I have a gift for the person. Anyone that can volunteer to tell me what they've learned since the beginning of this training. You want to go? Okay. What? There's no mic. I've been talking without mic, so I don't just keep it waiting while we get Jen on. I won't tell you. Yes. What have you learned? We know. What exactly did you learn that is different? Keep you in the job. So out of the soft skills I've spoken about, which have you related to that you going forward you're going to apply to your life to achieve results? I've not talked about it. So what exactly about time management have you learned? Okay, so going forward, what are you going to all of you are answering, don't worry. Going forward, what are you going to do differently? I've not really gotten to physical things. What I have talked about: personal effectiveness, time management, stress management. So what are you going to do differently going forward? Time management. Tasks. Okay. So can you give me an example of tasks in the past that you've not you've misplaced? Okay. Okay. Okay.
The deadline is probably Friday.
Okay.
And then I have one that is due on Wednesday.
Okay.
I'll prioritize the one on Wednesday first before the one on Friday.
Okay.
Irrespective of whether the one on Friday is easier.
What if the one on Friday is more difficult and you will not be able to finish it in 2 days?
It depends on the time. What if we're giving on Monday?
Okay.
And then the test will be submitted on Wednesday. Obviously, take more time.
Okay. So deadline
is closer than Friday.
Okay. So what quadrant would that fall into? Important and urgent.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I see that. So I have a gift for the two of you. See me after. All right. Is there any other person, preferably a lady, but since the guys are engaging more, that can tell me what they've learned from what we've done so far and what you are going to do differently? So they told me about how they are going to be prioritizing tasks more these days compared to before. So is there anybody that can tell me what they've learned? Something new that you learned today to be doing differently?
Maybe I complete them place. And not supporting our work.
Anyone? Okay.
I think that we should properly manage our time.
Okay.
Like we should prioritize the most important tasks, the least important. And then we should stop procrastinating and emphasize on emotional intelligence.
Sorry, make it more easier. And she could make me the last side. She take this last side. So we can just do our things up and then she.
Oh, she can.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Can share with the other side and you. So we can just.
All right. Okay. So what exactly are you going to do differently?
We're going to make to-do lists.
To-do
I've been
list.
making it before, but I'm going to make it more.
Okay.
Then prioritize my most important tasks.
This is important task. So I have a gift for you to answer. The second, with
Let me see what
communication.
I don't want to after you might not like me for
No, I think
I don't want
giving
so let me just
conditions.
where are we? Where exactly are you
Effective
now?
communication.
Yeah, let me just take it.
Okay.
My voice can carry the whole lot. Don't worry.
Your voice can carry.
Yes, it can.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay. I hope this is okay.
Since you just didn't know say.
Eh?
Since you didn't know say.
Sorry.
And what I'll be treating now is effective communication.
This is for mine, for those are online. So just hold it.
Okay, what is effective communication? How can we describe what we call effective communication? I hope everybody here can hear me. So as I said earlier, I happen to study education, and what I studied had to do with special education. So I did study for hearing impaired. You know what study for hearing impaired is now? Sign language. Does anybody speak sign language here? Anybody? Is somebody raising up their hand? You speak sign language. This person. You live amongst. You have people that you are friends with them. So there is something in study for hearing impaired. There's something we call total communication. So when we are talking about total communication, it speaks about your voice, your tone, your description. So when you see a deaf person talking, what they do, aside signing with their hand, is that they say that same thing with their mouth. Though you can't hear them, that is why you hear when a deaf person is trying to communicate. They are saying, and they are describing with their hand. So that is what I want to describe to us. I'm just trying to use that as an example and tell us what total communication means. When we are not talking about effective communication, when you speak, you can hear me now. Yes, no. Please answer now. Don't nod your head. Just answer. You can hear what I'm saying. So when I'm saying what you did now by saying no is part of communication because you responded to what I said. I sent it, you received it, then you did what? You gave me feedback. Can you hear me? No, somebody said no now. I want to hear the people that said no. Can you hear me? That means I've communicated because you answered no. So I sent the message, you received it, then you gave me feedback, which is no, you can't hear me. Do we understand that? Now, in communication, the way I'm speaking now, the 100% of it, when I said total communication, my communication has to be 100% to make it effective. So in my communication, my voice only takes 7% of what I'm doing here. My voice takes only 7% of what I'm doing. Now, let me do this now. Total communication is the ability to send a message and for the other person to receive. And after receiving, how do you know if somebody has received what you said? It is by giving feedback. Did anybody hear me? Did you hear what I said now? Nobody heard what I said. Maybe people in the front here, you heard what I said. Now, what I did here is using only 7%. When I use that only 7%, I just said what I said. I don't care about you hearing it. I don't care about your feedback. I don't care about you understand what I said. Then I communicated with the 7% out of the 100% of communication mode. Do we understand that? What I said, some people did not even hear. And those of you that heard, let's assume that is the way the trainer has been training you since you started this training. Will you be interested? Will you be interested in the training? Let's assume that's the way she has been speaking. The total communication, when you speak with your mouth, you try to type with your hand, and will you enjoy the training? No. So what I did there is using only my voice, while the 55%. I don't know how it looks. While I have 55%, which is my body movements. The way I've been talking, what have I been doing? I've been gesticulating, I've been throwing my hands, I've been walking up and down. That is my body movement. And the remaining 38% is my voice modulation. So the other time, I just said some things. You didn't hear because I didn't raise my voice. I was not hammering on what I was saying. The voice was not going far. So you will not understand when I communicate like that. So the 100%, my voice alone, which I did the other time. Then the 55% carries my body movement, my facial expression, the throwing of my hands in description and explaining. That's what 55% carries. Now, the remaining 38% is just the modulation of my voice. Now, let's say I'm trying to train you now, and I trained this way. Who is that stupid boy there? Stand up, get out of this class. You're very stupid. How will you feel when I talk to you that way? Yes, you get it. Now you get it. Now you get it. Assault. What do you mean? Assault. Now you get it. When I said that, okay, what did I do there? Hello? Okay, what did I do? I communicated. But what tone did I use in communicating? I used an aggressive tone, which is not acceptable. But what am I trying to do? I was trying to pass an information. Yes or no? I was trying to pass an information and trying to tell you, okay, I don't want to make noise in my class. Oh yeah, you get out of my class. Why will you be making noise here? You must be a very stupid person. Why will you do that? Why will you do this? What's wrong with my tone? It is not giving what I'm supposed to use here. Do you get that? When I said that, you just feel like, maybe let me just slap this person. Who is this small witch? Oh, okay, now let me ask him. What was your thought when I pointed at you and said that stupid boy, get out of class? Tell us now. How did you feel? You are just like, I'll just go and wait for you at the gate. No, tell me. Say it. What came to your mind? That's like, who is this small thing? Exactly. Clap for him because he said the truth. Clap for him now. He said, who is this small thing? So what did my tone do there? My tone carried 30% in my communication. If I had said that stupid boy this way, who is that stupid boy? Who is that stupid boy making noise there? It must be very stupid. How would you have felt? You'd have felt like, what's wrong with this dense woman? This Oswald. That was what would have come to your mind. So your communication mode, your tone in communication carries 30%, while your body movement, your facial expression carries 58%. Okay, so what we have with us is the pretest. You are not submitting it. She explained the other time that the pretest is being given to us because we want to know your idea, what you know about soft skill before this training. That's why we have pretest and we have post-test. So the one you have now that you have answered, you are still answering that same thing, the same question, the same format for the post-test. So hold on to your pretest. We just come and give you the post-test and you staple it with the pretest that you have. It's the same question. Same thing. Do we understand that? Now, moving on to the next. Now, 7 C's of effective communication. Your communication must be clear. Everybody say clear. Clear. Please now. Clear. Everybody say clear. Now, everybody shout clear. Your message must be clear. You want to communicate with somebody. What are you saying? How are you saying it? Is the information clear? What you're trying to pass across, is it a clear message? Number two, it has to be your message has to be concise. What are you sending across? It has to be clear and straight to the point. Avoid Twitter words and unnecessary jargons. If you want to communicate, go straight to the point. What are you saying? Let the message be clear. What are you passing? So everybody say concise. Number three, I'm teaching us the 7 C's of communication. Oh, I said it has to be clear. Number 2 is what? Number 3, it has to be concrete. That information you are passing, are you sure it is not hearsay? Eh? And you have to say it in the language. Let it be concrete, be specific and not vague. Use facts and figures that support your message. The things that you know, that you are sure of. The kind of message you are supposed to pass. Number 3. Sorry, it's because I'm using the phone. Oh. It has to be correct. Try to avoid typos. If you are sending a message, you want to pass a message and you don't want to be misunderstood. You want to pass the correct thing. Try to avoid typos. Use correct facts and figures. Use the right level of language. If you know that when you communicate with this person in Yoruba, that you know how to communicate, that is how you can pass your information. Communicate in the language that the person that you are passing the information to understands. Do we understand that? Not speaking English and you are using all those big grammar and somebody will not understand. Say it in a way that the person will understand. Show you. Now it has to be coherent. Does your message make sense? Ensure it flows logically. Avoid covering too much. Let the person you are speaking to understand what you are saying. Let your message be complete. Don't give half gist. I love giving people half gist. If you see what happened today, if you see what give complete information. If you want to do a case for us, do it. Come straight. Give us the full gist. You don't have to be giving us half information. Let your message be complete. Then be courteous when you are communicating with people. I said, who is that stupid boy the other time? It means I lack courtesy. He has not done anything wrong. Nobody has done anything that wrong yet. I will say somebody is stupid, somebody is foolish. So when you are communicating with somebody or anybody at all, even if you are older than that person, courtesy. Know the right words to use. Know how to communicate. Don't just open your mouth and let something come out of it. Learn how to communicate properly. So now, tips on effective email communication. Now, who knows how to write a proper email? Yeah, I'm certain of myself that I can write email properly. Is there anybody here that can do that? You are sure of yourself that you can send an email that, here come. Let's do practical. Yeah, now, are you not sure of yourself? It's just that you are taller than me. Don't stand beside me, just stand there. Okay, now, you want to send an email to me. Let's say about one. Okay, let's say you want to send an appreciative email to me for bringing this training here today. So how will you go by it? Yes, my email. Let's say you have all those things. You have the information you need. What's the content? How is it going to be like? Is the mic back on? Can we use the mic now? They can't hear you. Can speak loud. I don't want to stand beside you. You are tall. You use heading. Okay. You put the topic. What topic? I already told you the content of the email. You said you are sure. Now say it. I will shout it out. You put heading.
The heading is appreciation for today's.
That's how you like to say appreciation for today's.
No, like
I'm giving you information. Yes. This is Jobberman. This is a soft skill training. We are here. We have done the training. Then we left. You want to send me an appreciation. We want to send our company, not me, an appreciation message. That thank you for coming. So said you are sure of yourself now. Don't fall my hand now.
I'll be in front of today's seminar.
Okay.
Yes, and after that, I'll just like, I'll explain.
Explain. Explain. Let us hear now. All right. It will be long.
Yes, like, not that long.
Say explain. Explain it with your mouth now.
Like, I'll press it. Like,
Greet us. I said, write email. Just read out the email that you don't understand this, you know.
Understand, like, I can't explain everything.
Why? Maybe email. Does an email have to be very long?
No.
Now, oh yeah. They said you should go and sit down. They said you should go and sit down. It's not me. Oh. Now, piece of effective email communication. You are writing an email. Number one thing that you should know, you should practice a clear and concise message. Let it be clear. Let it be straight to the point. Utilize paragraphs, spacing by detailing different topics into separate paragraphs. Now, before sending, always reread your messages. All those typographical errors. You want to write say, you write said. You want to write so, you wrote you. All those things, make sure that you are checking them and you are sure that you are not making any typographical error. Then, avoid shortcuts. All those, most of us, the way we know how to communicate now is by using all these emojis. Can your email have emoji? Can email have emoji? But most of us, that's even if somebody asks us how are you, we use emoji to reply. How was your night? Emoji to reply. You don't know how to communicate properly. Is that emoji or what's that? What's the right pronunciation of that thing? Meme. Is that the right pronunciation? Memes. Is memes, Abby? That's how most of us communicate. We don't know how to communicate. How are you? You say fine. When somebody say how are you, you just use one meme that is dancing or that is jumping or that is sleeping. That is what you use as response to the person. So avoid all those things in writing your email. Now, barriers to communication. Barriers to effective communication. We have language barrier. Yes, I was asking the other time that who speaks sign language here? I think only one person raised their hand. Now, let's assume I want to train this class and I want to communicate with you in sign language. And I get coming here this morning, standing in your front, and I do like this. Have you eaten this morning? What did I say? Good morning. How are you? Am I communicated? I communicated like that. Okay, I should continue teaching you in sign language. Yes. It's okay. You're on your own. So now, the barriers that we have language barrier. You can't expect to be speaking to somebody that does not understand Yoruba, and you're taking a training like this where we have people from different cultures and people that speak different language, and you're only speaking Yoruba.
All right, can we give a round of applause for Seven? Thank you so much.
So technical team, please help me with the slides so everyone can follow along.
So I believe that we've learned something from All right, before we go on, you'll be having the second test distributed to you, that's the post test. Please note that the questions are the same. The questions are the same. But at this point, we expect you to have better knowledge of the subject matter. So you seek in what you think is the right answer based on what you've learned so far. And then both the pre-test and the post-test will be stapled together. Don't worry, we'll provide safe pass for you. That is what will qualify you for the certificate. So my colleagues will go ahead and share the test now. Please note you are not to submit until we ask for them. You'll be submitting at the point where we give you certificates. Thank you. So my colleague earlier was talking about overcoming barriers to effective communication. She talked about language, which she made a good example of using sign language. Communication is essential to be able to say something and the message is passed across to the intended audience and you get feedback. The other time when the mic went off, I asked if you could hear me and some people said no. In as much as that no was not the honest answer, that was effective communication because I passed across the message and I got feedback from them. So please can you go to the active listening slide? Active listening. That's the next slide after the one that we had earlier. For you to be said to be an active listener, it means to make a conscious choice, not the use of the word conscious. Conscious choice, and it goes beyond hearing. Earlier, you were told that communication is 7% what you say. The rest is the tone with which you say it and your body language. Would go on regardless. Can you all hear me? That's proof that you can hear me. Thank you. So active listening, like I said, is a conscious choice to receiving communication. Can you hear me over there, please? Ladies, can you hear me? Thank you. If you're an active listener, it is important that, number one, you maintain appropriate eye contact. In some cultures, if someone is talking to you and you're looking down or looking away, you are seen as a dishonest person. Hello. Okay. So like I was saying, in some cultures, if you are being talked to or spoken to and you look away or you look down, you are either sensed as someone who is lying or you are a dishonest person, especially in the Japan, in the Asian cultures. So it's important for you to maintain eye contact when you are being spoken to. It is important for you to be patient. So you might have a response to whatever someone is saying, but it is important that you pause until the person is done with what they are saying before you provide feedback. That's a sign of respect in communication. Also, when you are speaking, encourage the speaker. Nod your head at intervals, body language that shows that you are listening to what they are saying. Bless you. At the same time, pay attention to body language. Like we said earlier, communication is 7% of the say. So it means that there are times that you say some things, but you mean something else with your body language. So it is important that you pay attention to body language because that will also tell you what the person is not saying. That's a trait in active listening. Then ask questions, understand something, ask questions. It shows that you were actively listening. Earlier, I asked for people to tell me what they've learned in this session so far. And I was able to get some people tell me what they were going to do differently. That shows that they were active listeners. So it's important to ask questions. The next thing talks about delivering feedback. Now, in giving feedback, which is a crucial part of communication, there's something we call the sandwich method. I'm sure we all know what sandwich is. Do we all know what sandwich is? At least if you don't know sandwich, you know burger, right? You know you have the burger bread and you have whatever fillings in the middle. So if you are giving feedback, it is important that you start your feedback with praise. Please, can we work on the mic, please? Thank you.
So when you're giving feedback, it is important that you start your feedback with praise. Tell the person what they did right first. So even if someone did something wrong and you're angry, you're all pent up and all that, the first thing you should do is to say, oh, thank you for taking up this task. I really appreciate the time that you spent on this task. However, that's the feeling in between your sandwich. However, I think that you could have done this and this better. This will give you better results next time. That is you giving the negative feedback, and then you end it with also thanks. Thank you for taking time to consider this. Thank you for receiving this feedback about this. Do we all understand? So when you're also giving feedback, there is a response that you should expect from whoever feedback is given to. Remember when I was talking about self-awareness, I said if you're a self-aware person, if you're a confident person, if you're overconfident, you should be receptive to feedback. That way you can weigh your options and say, oh, this is what I need to do better, and this is what I've done right currently. So it's important for you to understand, accept, and understand what you need to change to do a better job next time. So can anyone give me a summary of what effective communication is based on what you've learned so far? Can anyone give me a summary based on what you've learned on effective communication so far? Anyone? I'm coming to this side of the hall because you guys have not been engaging so far. Is there anyone that can give me a summary on what you've learned on effective communication so far? Should I go ahead and pick?
Clear and concise for everyone.
To understand. Okay. So he said that what is being said should be clear and concise enough. You don't need to elongate the matter, like we say. Be clear, be concise, and ensure that you are speaking in a language that your audience understands. All right, thank you for that. The next slide we are going to is emotion. You know that to be. Anyone? If you say someone is emotionally intelligent, what does it mean to you? Anyone? You don't know if I have a gift, another gift for you this time. Anyone? Ladies, anyone that can tell me what emotional intelligence is, what you think it is, or what you know it to be? No one? Okay. What do you think emotional intelligence is? You can try to try. There's no wrong answer. You only need to try. All right. Simply put, emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, process, and interpret emotions in yourself and in others. You are able to recognize the emotion, you are able to process it, and you are able to interpret it. So you can say, oh, this is how this person behaves, or this is how I behave when I am angry. What should I do? I should ensure I say kind words when I'm angry. That is you recognizing the emotion that you feel, you processing it, and knowing what to do with it. That's simply what emotional intelligence is. It is also understanding that your emotions can drive your behavior and impact people either positively or negatively. Emotional intelligence is also understanding that your emotion can impact people either positively or negatively. So if you're said to be an emotionally intelligent person, it means you can do most of these five, you can do most, if not all these five things. The first one is that you're self-aware. You remember when I spoke about self-awareness? If you're a self-aware person, you have a higher chance of being an emotionally intelligent person. The second one is self-regulation. Self-regulation. It means you are in conscious control of your emotions. You never lose it. Even if you do, you are still kind while you lose it. You're somebody that does not just flare up at people. You don't store up pent up anger. You don't scatter things. You understand what people feel, how they feel, and how they react, and you're able to make good judgments based on that. And there's also empathy. Empathy, em- empathy is different from sympathy. Empathy, to me, I would say, is the ability for you to put yourself in others' shoes. The ability for you to put yourself in others' shoes, see things from people's perspectives, because there is always more than one perspective to any situation. So if you are an empathetic person, you have a high chance of being a highly emotional intelligent person. The social skills, it means you are able to develop and manage relationships. You can deal with people who are just naturally angry people. You can deal with soft-spoken people. You can deal with sluggish people. You can deal with people that are fast and they get things done so fast. Next slide, please. So the next slide shows the four basic behaviors house. We have the dominant, the influence, the conscious, and the steadiness. For the dominant people, you think of these people as people that have the choleric temperament. It means they like to take charge. They move quickly into action. They don't allow any lag because they want to get results fast and easy. They are result oriented, I said that. They thrive on opposition and they seek practical solutions. There is no, these people are usually not very emotional people. They are more logical than emotional because they want results. And in that way, they place a high value on time. They are strong organizers. They plan everything to the T. You will hardly find them doing things lackadaisically. They are always very, very well organized, well detailed, because they want results. Now, the area of growth, that's areas in which they would need to work on to get better results, are to be more approachable. They have to appreciate the opinion of others, and they have to learn to be active listeners. Because they want results, they might not want to listen to us. The influence, these are the ones that encourage you, motivate you to succeed. They encourage you, motivate you to succeed. They think of new activities that can make life easier for you, just for you to get results. And an area of growth for them is that usually people like this can get distracted on tasks because they are focusing more on the people or than on the work to be done. So it's important for them to be able to follow through with tasks. Some people are great starters, but they are not good finishers. And people with influence should be able to follow through, start from the beginning, and see a task through, and slow down their pace for others. The conscientious, they possess the ability to gather and analyze. They are very finicky, very detailed. They see the faults, they see the good, and they weigh up the options before they work. They are thorough, they are persistent, they work with schedules. They are usually disorganized if they are no schedules, so they can hardly work without schedules. Now, it's important for these people to focus less on facts and more on people. And it's also important for them to avoid the paralysis of analysis. These are people that overthink things. They can have a plan today and think and think. You ask them, "Oh, I'm still planning." So if you keep planning for 10 years, when are you going to execute eventually? Those are conscientious people. So it's important for them to be able to take action on the spot and make decisions fast. And the steadiness, these ones are the reliable and dependent. They have set down rules, and they are the ones that will draw up charts for you and say, "This is the way we do it. You have to go from A to B to C to D." They will never allow you to jump from A to D just because things have to be done a certain way. People like this should be more open to change. and value the opinion of others. Next slide. Next slide, please. Next slide. The one before that, please. All right, thank you. So teamwork. Teamwork is simply the ability of a team to work together towards the achievement of a common goal. It's that simple. A team is made up of different people with different skills that come together to achieve a purpose. And it's important for them to be able to work together in whatever situation, in class, in school, at the workplace. It's very important for you to be able to work with other people. What are the barriers to teamwork? Next slide, please. We have lack of coordination or follow-up. Team members not pulling their weight. The other time I asked the course rep if she had ever had a classmate pull them back by not doing their work on time, and she said that shows that she has a formidable team of classmates. So it's important that we every member of the team gives their all, and they don't depend on the strength of one another to say, oh, since this person can do it, I don't need to put in my all. Then there's procrastination. When you keep doing what you're supposed to do now, you keep putting it away until it becomes a strong deadline for you. Then you have workload, lack of dedication, little or no understanding of assigned tasks. So it's important for a team lead to be able to explain to members of his or her team what the task is about and help them, when possible, to go about the task, how they should go about it. Next slide, please. The 4 keys of team success are these. We have respect, we have trust, sensitivity, and appreciation. You should be able to respect every member of the team because each member has value. And you should be sensitive to each member of the team because people have different abilities. Someone's strength is another person's weakness. So it's important for you to be able to balance that out so that you get results at the end of the day. Trust. You should be able to trust your team members to carry out the job. There's a reason they're on that team. So if you don't think that they can do the job, why add them to the team? So you should be able to trust that they can carry. That's a good sign of leadership. Then appreciation. When they do well, go ahead and appreciate them. It's not only when they do wrong that you talk about it. So next slide, please. Leadership. Next slide. Next slide. So we have 7 major leadership styles, and I'll quickly run through this because of our time. The first one is the democratic leadership style, and this one involves calling everybody together. Oh, what do you think you can do? Everybody brings in their opinion, and then a consensus is reached while the leader makes the final call. Now, this kind of leadership style, it helps creativity and engagement because your 2 heads are better than one. So imagine you bringing 10 heads, 20 heads together. Everybody has good ideas to drop, and the leader is able to pick the best of those ideas. That's what being democratic is about. Autocratic. An autocratic leader, like the president of North Korea, is the one that makes all the decisions without team input. Nobody's opinion counts. So it is whatever they want done that will be done, no questions asked. There's the third one, which means laissez-faire. It's a French word that means leave it to do it. And it simply means that the leaders trust you enough to carry out tasks. So they have a hands-off approach. It might seem lazy to some people, but it is effective in some way because it means that you trust your team to carry out the job done independently. And this also encourages them because they are able to see the value that they are bringing to the job. They have the transformational leaders. These ones, they inspire the likes of Aspire to Perspire, they inspire you, they motivate you, pump you up, to give you energy to carry out tasks. And they lead by example anyway. Transactional leadership. This one motivates and directs followers by appealing to those followers' self-interest through rewards and punishments. So if you do well, you get rewards. If you don't do well, you get punished. Then the bureaucratic, that one follows procedures to the T, no failing. at all for them. And this style is common in civil service. There are rules for everything. You have to follow those rules. Then there's the servant leader who leads by serving others and enabling their success. When you see your leader serving, you know that it's been wrong for you to sit down, hands folded, doing nothing. Next slide, please. Self-leadership and leading others. There's this quote by Brian Kazan, which says self-leadership is having a developed sense of who you are, what you can do, where you are going, coupled with the ability to influence your communication, emotions, and behavior on the way to getting there. Simply put, you have to be self-aware, you have to be able to communicate, and you have to be able to communicate that to others. You have to be emotionally intelligent. Can you see that this quote talks about all the things we've been talking about from the beginning? Those things are essential to be a good leader, especially a good self-leader. Then on leading others, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you are a leader. That's why job is it out. It simply means that you are an influence. A leader is somebody that can influence others to do what needs to be done. So as long as you have influence, whether it is one person you are influencing, or 2 persons, or 10, or 20, or 1,000, you are a leader. And you can be a negative leader too, even though you are influencing people. Next slide. Okay, on leading yourself, you have to be able to master your attitude, your action, and your attention. All this boils down to self-awareness. Because of time, I'm going to rush through the slides. Next slide, please. When you're leading others, you have to be able to foster teamwork, promote creativity. We already talked about this, different kinds of leadership, and make the work better for everyone. Because at the end of the day, your team is as good as how the people in your team feel. Next slide. We talked about building trust earlier, being sensitive, effective communication, being able to delegate and empower others. In the process of delegating, we are letting people take on new skills that they've never done before, and that way, over time, they can stand alone and do these things on their own. Next slide. Next slide. Business etiquette. This is simply the behavior that is expected among professionals. In business-based organization, in schools, and what have you. Next slide. These are some types of etiquette: telephone etiquette, office etiquette, meeting etiquette. I'll touch shortly on this because I found that it may be a little lacking in this generation. For telephone etiquette, good etiquette says that if you are calling someone for the first time, the right thing for you to do is to introduce yourself and tell them why you are calling them. If they were not the ones that gave you their number, you introduce yourself, tell them where you got their contact from, and tell them why you are calling them. This same thing applies to WhatsApp messages. If you send me a WhatsApp message and you put hi, your hi will stay there for 100 minutes. I'm not going to reply, especially if I don't have your phone number. The right thing to do is this: hello, my name is Muturai. I got your contact from this. I am writing you about this and this and this. Please let me know when it's a convenient time for us to talk about this. I appreciate your time. Thank you. That's very simple. There is nobody you type like that to that would not give you a response. Even if they are busy, the response might come late, but it will definitely come. But if you, for example, call someone or send them a message just with hi, and you say nothing after, that's not communication. And that's disrespect to whoever you are calling or sending a message. If you're calling them on the phone, hello, my name is Busmayo. Is this a good time to speak? Because it might actually be a bad time, and they picked your call out of respect. These are little things that will allow you to gain access to some certain individuals, and you don't miss out on important opportunities. Office etiquette. This can also apply to school. How you treat things, school resources, how you treat your office resources. You don't use your office paper for personal projects. You don't go around littering the environment. These are little things that apply in our everyday life. Meeting etiquette. When there are meetings,
You don't stay pressing your phone while the meeting is going on. You don't act like, oh, why are you wasting my time? Can I get out of here? Because these things impact the mood of the meeting. Next slide, please. It's important for us to develop good business etiquette too, because it builds strong relationships, promotes positive atmosphere. It shows that you are also a self-confident person. Next slide. Next slide. I talked about soft skills earlier, that those are the things that will keep you in the job, even if technical skills get you the job. It's the same thing. You have good etiquette. People will be more receptive to you. It's just natural. People will gravitate towards respectful people, towards respectful people rather, or towards people that have manners. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide, please. At this point, I want to believe that everyone has received the post-test sheet and you have filled it or are still filling it, or you are still filling it. Am I correct, please? If you've not been given the post-test sheet, please raise your hand so that my colleagues can attend to you. If you've not been given the second script, please raise your hand so that my colleagues can attend to you. Okay, I believe everybody's sorted. Thank you. Next slide. Next slide. So in this module, we'll be talking about employability skills. Earlier, my colleague talked about sending emails. This is like just one of the few things. Next slide, please. Next slide. So we'll be talking majorly about which is your market. Your CV is simply your portfolio. It is what tells people about you even before they meet you. That's in the job market. Next slide. It's important for you to note that if you're searching for a job, an average recruiter will look at your application in less than 1 minute. They will scan through. That's if they are checking the paper one. Scan through. If they don't find keywords, they discard it. So when you hear that some people apply for jobs, oh, I applied for 1,000 jobs, I didn't get a call back, it means that there's something wrong with the CV that they sent in. So this ATS system simply shows how HR teams look at applications. They receive applications, they check the qualification. If you have qualification, you pass. If you don't, you fail. They rate the criteria, that's the job criteria, what they are looking for in the people they want to employ. And number 3, that they rate that. And number 4, they pick the selected applicants. These are the ones that get called for an interview. Next slide. So how do you prepare your CV to be able to scale? Now note that this ATS thing is like a software. So it's not like the individuals are looking through certificate CVs one by one. It's like a software they will use to run. There are keywords that they are looking for. So the hack is for you to be able to tailor your CV to bypass that ATS system. So how do you prepare? You carefully tailor your resume to the job description every single time that you apply. Now nowadays you see that different job positions have different titles. So let's say they are looking for a software engineer in one particular company. You know you are a software engineer. But in one other company, they don't call them software engineers. But when you are submitting your CV, you are writing software engineer. You may not pass through the selection process because maybe they call them software specialists in the particular job you apply for. But you are looking at like it's the same thing now. They should just take it. You have to tailor your CV based on the criteria of the job description. And this is one thing that Jobberman helps you to do. So please feel free to go on the Jobberman website and register. Then you can learn the bulk of this. Then you optimize for ATS search by matching your resume keywords to the job description. I just said that. So if you want software specialist and you're a software engineer and you know you fit in, don't write it as software engineer, write it as software specialist because that is what they are looking for. They know what they were doing when they wrote software specialist. Then use both the long form and acronym versions of keywords. Keep your resume simple. Keep it as simple as possible. No need for drama. When you get to the interview, then you can start expatiating on things that are in the CV. Use standard resume section headings like work experience rather than being cute or clever, saying, oh, where have you? They don't care where have you worked. Work experience, simple English. There's no need to be dramatic about anything on your CV. Then also avoid submitting your resume as a PDF unless the system specifically asks for it. Next slide. CV writing tips. From this, you can even tell that there are some things you learn from effective communication that are pictured here. Keep your CV short and simple. Remember we said effective communication should be short and concise. Should be concise, should be clear. If you apply those things to your CV, you would not have any problems. Only include relevant information. They don't need to know whether you are single or married. They don't need to know what hometown you come from, except you're applying for a government job. And even government jobs may not ask you at that point. It might be much later. They don't need to know your age, except they specifically state that this job is for people below 26. Or when you get to that door, you cross it. So include relevant information. Clearly state your achievements and how you achieved it. If possible, quantify the results achieved. Let's say you worked with a marketing firm and you were able to help them bring in 26 billion naira or something. Write it there. Your CV is not the place to be humble. I worked with a team of professionals to increase revenue from 10 billion naira to 26 billion. There is no recruiter that will see that figure and not look like you're an asset to the company. So be loud about your achievements. Don't go over the top, but be loud about them. Check for spelling and grammatical errors. These days, if you use AI to write your CV, please go through it and rewrite it. AI should just be a kind of help and a guide, but ensure that you write your CV, you proofread it and rewrite it yourself. Be honest. Don't include jobs that you do not do, because some of these companies do background checks. Next slide, please. So this is an example of a CV layout that is good. You have your name, what you do, your marketing professional, the professional summary, your core competencies. Those are the skills, the hard skills that you have. Next slide, please. No, please go to the previous slide. If you note well, Cynthia Johnson, Ikoyi, Lagos, Nigeria. In some jobs, you may not even need to put your location, except they want an on-site. It's an on-site job. That's where you need to put your location to show them that you stay in that city. But if it's a remote job, you don't need to put Ikoyi or something, because you don't need to come to the office. Then your phone number, that's how they can reach you. It is important that that is written on your CV as well as your email. Next slide. Cynthia Johnson listed her professional experience, where she worked, the time she worked, and what she did. Next slide. See the last point there. So you can see that there's a point where the wrote key accomplishments. Achieved a successful reduction in overall business expenditure by 15% and saved the company about 50,000 naira a year. So if you're applying to a job that needs to reduce their costs, this person is a good fit for them. Next slide, please. Before I go on, please note that it's your post test that we would use to grade you, and that is what will qualify you for a certificate. Kindly ensure that you. So your action words, your work achievement, these are words that you can use. Oh, I developed this, I launched this, I completed this, I negotiated this for the company, to announce your achievements. Next slide. So education and qualification, the trainings that you've done, your professional qualifications belong to anybody. This is where you should put it in. Next slide. Cover letter writing tips. Yeah, next slide. The structure of your cover letter. Nobody has time to read through a 2-page cover letter, so you have to keep it short and simple. First paragraph. Who are you? How did you find the application? What are you applying for? So if they ask you, who are you? My name is so and so, a marketing professional, a business administrator. How did you find the application? What are you applying for? I'm applying for the post of something in so company. The next paragraph should be a summary of it. I have a knowledge of this and this. I graduated from this line to this. This is the skill that I gained. I have worked in this capacity. That's where your second paragraph should include. Paragraph 3, what's your magic? What connects the industry? This is where you blow up your achievements. I work in so industry, I was able to do this and this for so and so company. That's also in your paragraph 3. And paragraph 4, you attach your resume, call of action with intent to follow up. So you write it better. I look forward to hearing from you, blah, blah, blah. This is where I can be reached you. And you end your cover letter, no drama. You can see first paragraph 2 sentences, second paragraph 3 to 4 sentences, third paragraph 3 to 4 sentences, fourth paragraph 1 to 2 sentences, and your cover letter is done. Next slide, please. So this is an example of a sample of a cover letter. You can also go on Google and check to see how these things apply. Because of our time, we'll not be able to analyze it. Next slide. Next slide. So the job search process, you have to narrow your focus considering the following: your career goal. Previous slide, thank you. You have to also identify the industry that you want to work in. You want to work in finance, you want to work in oil and gas, you want to work in telecommunications, you want to work in tech, just name it, the type of organization. You look for platforms. Jobberman, like I said earlier, is also a good platform for you to be able to identify it. And then you have LinkedIn, blow up. LinkedIn people, they brag about their achievements because that's what we're trying to do. Then job search materials, you have to prepare your resume. Remember, your resume should be tailored to each job that you're applying and your cover letter. Then your network, because you never can tell the person sitting beside you might be the key to the door of the company you want to enter. Next slide. So you have job posting platforms. Next slide. Next slide, please. So you can have different ways for you to identify job scams. A job that you did not apply to suddenly gets a message. Trust me, it's probably from GNLT or KT Healthcare or what have you. You have fake jobs from fraudsters just to lure you. So you have to be able to cross-check any message that you get. Then there's also the parts to prepare cross-check for you. On next slide. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. If you're preparing for an interview, it's important that you research the company that you want to go to. You prepare questions, listen carefully, practice listening content here, relate your skills, and then after the interview, you send a thank you note to your recruiters. You show them that you have interest in them. Next slide. I'm trying to round up as fast as possible. So this is like an interview checklist, familiarize yourself with the organization. That's the number one key thing. If you are doing a virtual interview, dress formally. Don't say because it's virtual, you can just show up anyhow. Dress formally. Be in a calm environment. Ensure you have a stable power supply and internet. The area, visit the job to be sure where you are going. And then dress when you go with credentials, everything you think, just go with it. Next slide, please. These are common interview questions. Tell me about yourself. When they ask you, they don't care about your village, your age, or what. They only want to know you, what you can do, what skills that you have. Then what are areas you've achieved success, what values do you need to the team? Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to. Next slide. Next slide. So you can always ask questions about the company. Remember that the most successful candidates are those who can relate facts and success stories in a positive way. So in a way, you should be a good storyteller to be able to relate your achievements to your potential employer. Next slide. Please let's go to the creativity and critical thinking module.
which will be our final module for the day. Creativity, and that's slide 109. All right, next slide is the creativity slide. Next slide. Okay. So creativity, in simple terms, is simply an attitude to accept change and newness, being open to ways of doing things. Also, nothing new under the sun. The reason is that whatever seems new now is a combination of different ideas from the past, and that is what we call creativity. So, next slide, please. Then we also have innovation, which is the implementation of a new or significantly improved product, service, or process that creates value for businesses, government, or society. It's the act of turning new or imaginative ideas into reality. Next slide. Recently, I was watching a video after the airplane crash, and I saw a video of a proposed airplane that they want to create a part of. They want to create the passenger part of it to be detachable, such that when the plane crash is about to happen, the passenger part will detach from the cockpit, and it's only the cockpit that would crash. Then the passenger part would develop like parachute-like features for you to land safely on land or water. And somebody asked the question, so the pilot will be the one that will sacrifice his life for everybody. But if we reason it in a way, they can also develop a way for the pilots and all the members to survive. To me, I think that's the vision, and if they're able to come up with such a thing, I think it will be valuable for the airlines. So, next slide. Creativity is having the mindset to conceive. Can you go to the previous slide? So having the mindset to conceive something new, creative. But creativity is simply the thought process. But innovation is having the skill to implement the ideas you bring from your thought process. Next slide. And creativity be learned. Your ability to generate innovative ideas is not a mere function of the mind. But these 5 key behaviors associating. When you're able to connect with other creative people, you can see ideas from different fields that you can bring together to form a new product. Questioning, you can ask questions which will open up your mind to see new things that can be done. You observe, you network, you experiment before you now achieve a final product. Next slide. So in short, creativity can be learned. Next slide, please. Next slide. Think clearly and rationally, and then come to conclusions. Next slide. So who is a critical thinker? Someone who is willing to challenge the status quo. That means, they usually say that if you think of new ways to do things so that they can achieve different results. You are open-minded. If you're a critical thinker, it means you are open to new learning. You are able to step back from the situation and say, okay, what other way can we go about this? You are an active listener. In a way, I think you can see how all these skills that we've been talking about this morning, they are linked. Now, this is active listening in critical thinking. And then you're aware of common thinking errors. Please go to the next slide. This method, the bonus 6 thinking part, is something that helps teams to be more productive because it talks about decision-making skills. Next slide, please. And in this hat, we have 6 thinking hats. We have the blue hat. The blue hat, which controls process. For people that are blue hat thinkers, they think about what is needed. What kind of thinking do you need to achieve this goal? They organize the thinking and they plan. They set the focus. Oh, what's the agenda? Which area are we focusing on? That's what for the green hat, creativity. These are the ones that come up with ideas. They seek alternatives, possibilities. They remove faults. Just like I talked about that
detachable every day earlier. It's someone is pilot how to get out and not be affected by the crash.
So they're the ones that generate new concepts, basically. Then we have the white hats. These ones, they gather information. Which information do we know? What information do we need? Which information are we going to need online? This is how are we going to get it? What part? And the red hats feeling that they include their intuition, gut hunch. You have a that if we do this decision making. I found out that there are some jobs I take. Once I have a restraint by the point of taking that job, I should probably not take it. Because they're the ones that will stress you out the most and then better along that. Sometimes logic is useful and all that. They are usually of the see the good idea. I have the black hat. Cautious one. Let's watch out for this. Basically looking for the faults in an idea. Next slide, please. Next slide. For you to be an effective person, highly effective person, I see as one of things that a problem is a matter of situation regarded as unwelcome, harmful, and needs to be dealt with and welcome. Just like earlier when the generator went off, we had some problem solvers. It's help is celebrate them. That's what it's actually continue. So it's important that involving the details of any problem, just check with to ensure that and this the problem solving. I problem provide a solution and how do you approach problems? There are some people that can stall or delay until a decision is no longer set. Imagine if they stalled, they would have been shouting, and some people will not hear. So now that means it's not. Or you can make a snap decision and have people solve. So the people that are
easily approach to business. So the first step to problem, the first is that you identify the problem. You have to know that there is a problem here. That is essential to how is the process, what is the problem. And the fourth one is idea implementation. These are solutions step by step that you carry the statement independent of we have the significant explain that. With this, we have like to make this session time and for listening. Thank you so much. So if you have any questions, please prepare your questions. And while you do that, we are going to mark your pre-test and post-test. So that we do not waste time, please exchange your sheets with people on your row. You should not mark your own scripts. So exchange your scripts. I believe that all your scripts have been stapled. If your script has not been stapled, please signify so that my teammates can please I need a stapler for someone. No, I don't want to.